Hi everyone, I'm Danny, your teacher and creator of Cultivando Inglês. In this video, I'm going to explain the origin of the days of the week, and I'm also going to give you some tips on how to use them in conversation. Before we get started, I'd like to let you know that this video contains a free PDF with the information on how to use the days of the week in conversation. It is the same information I will share in this video, but I have organized it onto a few pages for you to download. Now, let's get back to our lesson. First, I'm going to say the days of the week, and then I'm going to explain their origins and what they mean. I am going to say the days of the week twice. I would like you to repeat after me out loud. Speaking out loud is an important way to practice your pronunciation. Let's get started. The first day of the week is Sunday. Sunday. Then we have Monday. Monday. Tuesday. Tuesday. Wednesday. Wednesday. Thursday. Thursday. Friday. Friday. And finally, Saturday. Saturday. One important detail is that the days of the week are always capitalized in English, no matter their position in a sentence. For example, my favorite day is Thursday. Before I talk about the etymology of the days of the week, I want to talk about the pronunciation of Wednesday. This is a strange word because it's pronounced very differently than the way it is spelled. We don't pronounce the D, and we don't pronounce the second E. If I were to write it the way we say it, it would look like this. Wednesday. Now I'm going to talk about the origins of the days of the week. Unlike Portuguese, which is a Romance language, English is a Germanic language. Germanic peoples originated in Northern Europe and then spread throughout the continent. At some point, these Germanic peoples came into contact with the Romans. The Romans used a 7-day week system, and the names of many of the days were derived from the names of Roman gods. The Germanic peoples ended up adopting the 7-day week from the Romans, and they substituted some of their Roman gods with their own versions of those gods. Even though Portuguese is a Romance language, the days of the week in Portuguese are not derived from the names of Roman gods. However, the days of the week in Spanish are. I'm going to contrast the days of the week in English with the days of the week in Spanish to show how the Germanic peoples substituted the Roman gods for their own. Let's start with the first day of the week, that is derived from the name of a god. Tuesday. Tuesday comes from the Germanic god of war, two. It literally means Tuesday. In English, the way we show possession is by adding an apostrophe S to a word. For example, this is John's car. Today is Tuesday. For this reason, the days of the week that are based on the names of gods have an S after the name of the god. In Spanish, the word for Tuesday is martes, which comes from Mars, the Roman god of war. Wednesday comes from the Germanic messenger god Woden. It literally means Woden's day. In Spanish, the word for Wednesday is miércoles, which comes from Mercury, the Roman messenger god. Thursday comes from the Germanic god of thunder, Thor. It literally means Thor's day. In Spanish, the word for Thursday is jueves, which comes from Jupiter, the Roman god of thunder. Friday comes from the Germanic goddess of love and fertility, Frigg. Unlike the other days of the week derived from the names of gods, Friday does not have the letter S in it to show possession, for reasons related to the evolution of its pronunciation from Old English to Modern English. In Spanish, the word for Friday is viernes, which comes from Venus, the Roman goddess of love. Finally, Saturday comes directly from Latin. The Latin word for Saturday is dies Saturni, meaning day of the god Saturn. As you can see, the Germanic peoples didn't substitute Saturn for their own god. Sunday is one of the 2 days whose names are not derived from a god. Sunday means day of the sun. In Latin, one of the 2 words for sun is dies solis, which means day of the sun. The Germanic peoples took this and translated it, which is why in English it is Sunday. Monday is the 2nd day whose name is not derived from a god. Monday means day of the moon. In Latin, the word for Monday is dies lunae, which means day of the moon. The Germanic peoples took this and translated it, which is why in English it is Monday. Now let's practice how to use the days of the week in conversation. We use the preposition on when we want to say that something happens on a certain day of the week. If we are talking about an event that happened once or will happen once, we use the singular form of the day of the week. For example, school starts on Monday. I'm going to Mexico on Thursday. I went to the dentist on Tuesday. If we talk about something that repeatedly happens on a specific day of the week, we use the plural form of the day of the week. For example, I have soccer practice on Wednesdays. They go to church on Sundays. The store closes on Saturdays. We use the word last plus the day of the week to refer to the week before the current one. For example, I arrived in the US last Monday. I broke my arm last Sunday. We use the word next plus the day of the week to refer to the week after the current one. For example, I go to Brazil next Thursday. I have a soccer game next Saturday. That's it, guys. In this lesson, you learned the etymology of the days of the week in English, as well as how to use the days of the week in conversation. Now, it's your turn. Leave a comment below using a day of the week in both its singular form and plural form. If you like this video, give it a like and follow my channel. I publish a video once a week about vocabulary, expressions, grammar, and pronunciation. Thanks for watching. See you next time.